I shut down, I shut down, and I just turned towards, drinking, and then my card wasn't working. My ex-husband shut it down, right? And I had no money, and I think I had like $2,000 at that time in my bank account, right? And of course, it was running out, and I also sold my wedding ring because I needed money. I went to a pawn shop and I sold the wedding ring, and I remember I got like $700, okay, for it. And I was supposed to go back, right? And I never did. I never went back, right? So that's how bad of a condition I was in, where I couldn't function, and I needed money. So then, like, I just took on another job. I left that job, and then 2 months later, I had to take on whatever job that I got, right? So then I started working, like in accounting. It was an accounting job where I did accounts payables and accounts receivables, and it was a second shift job. I wanted second shift, so this way, like, after I come home from work, I'm just like going to bed. Like, I don't think I wanted to face any of the problems that I was going through. I just wanted to, okay, I'll go to work, I'll come home, and just go to sleep, wake up late the next day, like, I
Yeah.
just, yeah, that's so, like, I did turn towards drinking at that time.
How
I
did you
wouldn't
know
say it was
yourself?
every day, but it was few times a week.
Yeah, enough. Like, you know yourself,
Yeah.
so if it was a problem for you, if you recognize it as a problem, it was a problem. How did you move past it? Or, when? How?
So I I made a mistake of shutting down not only myself, but shutting down everyone in my life. Okay. So I, like, stopped talking to my own family. I stopped talking to, like, my own best friends, right? Because I just didn't want to talk about it. I didn't want to see, like, any families. I didn't want to see any couples, I just like wanted to disappear, and not, like, talk to anyone, right? So, like, months passed, right? And then one of my friends at work, she was support, she was a lot of support, and she started, like, one day she was just like, have you, thought about getting into another relationship? And I was like, no, I haven't, but she's like, why don't I know a friend, who's also single, he's going through the same thing that you are. He's also, like, divorced, and, like, he's going through the same thing. Why don't you talk to him? And maybe you guys can help each other out, understand each other, So she introduced me, to my husband, my current husband,
Really?
right? Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, so then him and we started talking, right? And of course, like, his divorce wasn't as bad as mine, like, of course we all deal with it, differently, right? I can't say that, he was not as hurt as me. He may have been, I don't know, but, like, with me, as you know, right, there was, like, a lot of abuse, right? Physical abuse that was involved and all of that, right? So it was like, it was really painful, right? So, like, he understood, what I was going through. So, like, at first we became friends, and then we started, dating. We would just, like, go to, restaurants to eat. So somewhere I think I got hope, because he gave me the love that, my ex-husband didn't. He gave me that respect, that love, you know. So I think he helped me a lot. And then he gave me the space, to figure myself out, right? So that's where my personal development journey started, right? Because, I told myself, okay, there's a better life, that I can have. Like, it doesn't have to be like this, right? So
Right.
I just, like, dug deep into, personal development, and I just, did a lot of work, like.
Can you talk about some of that work? What sort of things did you do? Because I know that you are very strong in mindset now, and that you have a number of titles and um, methods you can teach. So talk
Yeah.
about that. Oh, there's Lance. He stumbled.
Hi, Lance.
Lance stumbled into us. Hi, Lance. That's funny. So talk to me a little bit about how that self development looked. How did you know
Yeah.
what to start taking first, and you know, when did you decide to do yoga and meditation and you know all that sort of thing? Talk to us about how you went decided what to do. Did you just fall into it, or was someone leading you, or was it cultural, or what?
Yeah, so it was around the same time, right? So I worked at this accounting job for a few months, and like I told my husband, I'm like, look, I hate this job. You know, I hate just sitting in a cubicle, right? And this was I think it was after a year, right? And I was pregnant at that time too, right? And I told him like I don't want to do this. So he was like, you know what, you don't even have to work, you know, just stay home, right? Take care of the baby after we had the baby, right? So I left that job, and 2 weeks later I was like, this is not me. I can't just sit at home and not do anything, you know. So then I started looking for, you know, things that I can do, right? Like I always wanted to, you know, have a business. I always had like this dream in me, right? To be, you know, an entrepreneur, right? But I didn't have the mindset before, right? So then I just, you know, I looked into things online, right? And I came across real estate, right? And that's when I had, you know, gone to a few seminars here, right? Like one of them was Tarek Al Musa's, right? They had
Okay.
like a 2 day workshop in downtown, which confused the hell out of us, where they talk about like raps and, you know, creative financing and all that. At that time I knew nothing about it, right? Like when you're first new to real estate, and like I think they confuse you more, so you sign up for their advanced, you know, trainings, right? So like we didn't sign up for theirs, and then we came across Andrew Holmes, right? He's, you know him, he's here in Chicago, right? So we resonated with him, right? So we ended up, you know, signing up for his mastery, right, at
Nice.
that time. And of course, we didn't have the money. So we had to put it on a credit card, right? It was like, I think around $23,000 at that
Wow.
time, right? Yeah. Yeah. So he's got different programs, you know,
Yeah, I
like,
know he can be pretty pricey, from what I've
yeah,
heard. How long ago was this?
this was 8 years ago.
Okay,
Yeah,
eight
this was eight
years.
years ago. So we signed up for his mastery, and then, you know, like I just I wanted to, so we did our first deal, and then after that I wanted to do more deals, right? But then I was always listening to like speakers and, you know, like just stuff on YouTube, right? And I just came across, you know, I don't know exactly who it was, but they were talking about, you know, like meditation and yoga and all of that, right? To stay grounded. And I was like, okay, I need this because I'm a mess.
That's
So
funny.
then so then I just started searching for, you know, like meditations, like in the area. We lived in Arlington Heights, Illinois at that time, right? And I went to, you know, like the center that they have there, right? And they talked about, you know, like the different workshops and the trainings that they offer, right? So I started with like the classes that they have, right? And then I like just started loving it, right? At first, like I didn't understand all of this, right? Because it takes time. It takes a few weeks, it takes a few months, right? But I knew like I have to continue it. And they kept telling me too, right? You have to continue it, don't stop, right? And then they have a whole bunch of workshops that you can do at the center, and then they have like advanced workshops and trainings that you can do in Sedona, Arizona, right? So like Effie, all the workshops that they offer I did at the center, all of
So you
them. And then
jumped
I
right in.
did, yeah, I wanted to, you know, like heal. I wanted to, you know, learn about myself, you know, and more so I wanted to be successful, right? So I was like, you know what, this is it, right? So then I, you know, got a lot of like certificates and all that, right? So like if I wanted, I can teach at the center right now, right? But I that's not why I got the certificates, right? I got the certificates to learn about myself and to learn, you know, human behavior, human psychology, and all that. And the interesting thing is, I understand like all these people that are in pre foreclosures better, right? So like I have so many people that like ask me like, how are you so good with these people? I'm good with these people because I understand myself, and because I've been through a lot myself, right? From like childhood traumas to, you know, like a lot of traumas from like past relationships, right? So that's how my journey, started. So it was really undoing everything from childhood and like becoming a different person, and of course it's ongoing. I'm still looking to do more trainings,
Hmm.
and more certificates.
Yeah, I think it doesn't really matter which level you're at. You can always explore more. I mean,
Right.
Pace is still, going to mentors and pushing himself. And, some people might say, well, he's got enough. He should just stop. He's good. The moment you say you're good, I think you start shrinking.
Yeah, I agree. And like you're always going to have mindset issues as you
Yeah,
grow,
yeah, and
right?
there's always going to be somebody higher up who can teach you more and help bring you up. So
Right.
I agree with that. I think that it's constant throughout our life. That's one of the things I don't think I myself would not be satisfied with any particular level. I'd always want to strive for more. And at the same time as you were doing this self exploration, you already had started the master class. When did you start figuring out that in real estate, pre foreclosure is where you wanted to focus? How long did that take you?
It was that same year. It was that first year. So like we didn't have money, right? When we started, right? Like even Andrew's mastery, we had to put it on a credit card, right? And the first deal that we did, we had about like I would say $5,000 stuck in the deal, even though it was a good deal, right? We It took us 3 months, I think, to find a tenant because we got done with the renovation in the winter time, and it took us not 3 months, maybe 2 months. But the 2 months that you're holding the property, you're still paying for the mortgage, the
Yes, yes,
utilities.
I know, I know. I had that
Yeah,
happen in Charlotte.
yeah,
Yes.
right. You're still paying for all of that,
Yep.
right? So
Yep.
so then I just got so scared after that, right? Like to do more, because I was like, what if the same thing happens and we have no money? What am I gonna do? So like, and of course I didn't have the confidence at that time, to talk to the real estate agents, right? So then I decided to, just go after pre-foreclosure. So I heard Dan. Do you know who Dan Clarton is? He's also
Uh,
like he's one of the biggest wholesalers in Illinois.
Dan, no, I don't. How are you spelling Carton?
It's Clarton.
Oh, Clarton. No, I
Yeah,
don't. But
yeah. So
okay, that's good to know.
he's also in mastery, and he had a workshop, like a direct to seller workshop, 8 years ago, right? So I did his workshop, which was, I think at that time he charged like $1,000 or something, and I can't tell you how much I learned, from this workshop. And I still tell him, till today, I'm like, I learned a lot, right? And then, I found my first off market deal, right, in Streamwood, Illinois. And I just saw so much potential, like if we didn't sell it, if we sold it, we would have made like $70,000.
Wow. Nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nice.
And I was like, these are the deals that I want to do. These are the kind of deals that I want to go after, So like I didn't change direction, I didn't go from direct to seller, direct to agent. I decided, okay, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do direct to seller, and I'm gonna figure it out, you
Nice.
know